Hey guys, welcome back to Daily Trips. I am Mickey Joe and I make Barely Default. It's my research pack and this is a new video and it's the Mace update. There's a lot of maces. Before we get into it, let's get into some other shit first because it's shit and shit, whatever, because it's all part of this update, right? So first off, I've added a new armor set. Well, we're getting right into it. It's really nice. The Lava Warrior set, which is actually a skin from Minecraft Legends. It's a pretty simple one, nice one to port. It has the Blackstone palette for armor, so it's not quite netherite, but that's, you know, it's basically still a netherite vibe, right? Because of the lava, especially. So if you like lava and you don't like the lava infused set, which is, you know, it's like a cousin to this, or maybe you just really like the skin in Minecraft Legends, I can only imagine. Whatever, it's a new set, new armor set in the pack, exclusively for netherite, just like the Phantom Ranger set, which is also a skin in Minecraft Legends. Why am I adding all these Minecraft Legends skins? Well, because I ran out of canon armor, and also I like adding random weapons, you know, that aren't part of any set, and then maybe build a set around it later. But for the most part, it's better to have stuff be part of sets. So if I have more colorful armor sets that I can then match weapons to, like maybe, I mean, I don't know, I kind of feel like this vibe is kind of, did I already put it on? Okay, I did. I feel like this vibe is kind of like tactical, maybe. He kind of reminds me of Ghost from Call of Duty a little bit, doesn't he? Like a tiny little bit, like tactical gear. You know, like military meets Ghost. Like maybe there's some really cool video game lore that fits this palette as well, and that I can then pour into this collection, right? Instead of just having a bunch of separate shit, because when people wear armors, they look for collections. At least that's what I do, right? Like you want full matching stuff. I've actually also done a mace rename for the Lava Warrior set. So basically, I added it because I wanted to add another mace, which was part of a set. But we'll get to that later, okay? This is kind of like a griefer vibe, right? To me, like kind of like a troll, a little bit of a troll running around. Or, you know, like maybe you can have a ghost squad, a bunch of undead guys, different undead netherite armors. Okay, moving on. New armor style for all the tiers, starting at chainmail. This is the Nether Walker set, which is easily my favorite right now. It's pretty crazy, and I guess I'm pretty fucking edgy that I can be persuaded by this. This is a canon skin by Mojang. From Minecraft Legends as well, the Nether Walker skin. It's heavily implied that it's crimson, right? I think the description of the skin is when you walk the nether, you're bound to take some of it home with you. Like, I think that's the description of the fucking skin, right? So it's probably, I don't know, like netherrack, dust, or just crimson. But obviously it looks like blood. And I was kind of shocked when I saw the skin at first. I was like, that's so cheesy of Mojang to do it, to have like this child-friendly stance and then be like, oh, here it is, a skin, it's crimson, don't worry about it. But also, it's also kind of like the perfect way to do like mature Minecraft stuff, right? Like you can add a bloody vibe to Minecraft now and just say that it's crimson, and then you can cater to kids by making Minecraft, and then also cater to adults by adding gore, just like in a, like, you know, like it's kind of like, it feels like a loophole a little bit, but kind of like a positive one, right? Because then, you know, if you, it's the same for Sid, it's a choice. So if you want to look like really gory, which I mean, like I said, I guess I'm pretty fucking edgy, but I've been rocking this look on my SMP, and I'm just super immersed. Like every time I look at F5 after I fought mobs, like I wish I had a bloody weapon. I should add a bloody weapon now. I should add like Nether Walker weapons and all the tools, you know, just bloody variants for all the tiers. And that's also why I made it for all the tiers, because I think it's so cool. Like this might be a vibe you want from the beginning, right? Or like, I don't know, have like a freaky cellar where you have bloody armor. It's super cool. One of my favorite sets. In the back, it's supposed to have a feather, just like the feather on the Lava Warrior set. Like the Minecraft Legends skins are oftentimes just copies of each other, right? Recolors with minor details changed. So that's why, you know, I mean, it works out for me because I get to make one nice feather and then reuse it. But yeah, new set for all the tiers. One that I'm pretty excited about. I really like this one. Some more set stuff. I've previously added the sparkler, and then in a recent update, actually, I've added the Ender Dragon sword, you know, so you have different types of flames, because then I make one model and I just want to get the most bang for my buck. Recoloring a flame animation, you know, that's like pretty low effort. So then, I don't know, it feels very practical. So then now you get to have a whole variety of flames, because I added the Nameless Blade and the Necromancer Blade, which is a soul flame, right? And this is like the flame that I use in the Crimson too. The Crimson is not really related to the Nameless one, but maybe, I don't know, don't worry about it. Anyways, this set, which I think is pretty cool, it's a pretty good set if you're like a magic type of guy, now has a sword attached to it, and it matches really well. I mean, obviously, like this being a magic guy, a sword doesn't really match unless you're doing like a staff or like a glaive maybe, but this is just a you know, really cool, and an excuse for me to add the sparkler for all the flames, right? So now I've done it. You can have any flame color that's in the pack right now, you can have it as the sparkler. You know, maximum effort, but also kind of lazy, but it's good, I think. You want to see the Necromancer set with the Necromancer blade? It's pretty cool. And then actually, because in Minecraft Dungeons there's a nameless blade, and that was also in my pack, and I already colored it like the cursed axe, you know, like an obsidian blade with the you know, the cursed axe handle. So those could be a set for one day. I had a nameless or cursed armor set, and now I guess, you know, I mean, it doesn't really work. Nameless blade. I renamed it the cursed blade. Okay, this was previously the nameless blade. I don't think this was anyone's favorite rename, but just so you know, it's part of this update. The Minecraft Dungeons nameless blade actually now creates this, and this has become the cursed blade, so that I can make like an obsidian / pink armor set one day. Okay, so that's like a little bit of future proofing and making all the pieces work, right? Because this is, you know, okay, you get it. Bit of a random one, but I added an elytra for the crucible set. I always have a tough time saying that one. Crucible. It's really unnatural to say. Anyways, it's a skin from Minecraft Legends. This armor was already in my pack. It's pretty covering. Like, you really gotta love this style to rock this set. But now it has some pretty fly wings that you can rock, and they're just golden wings, so you can rock them with any set. Like, if you have, like, I don't know, like if you just want to have golden wings, you can get them now. So, you know, you don't need to wear the crucible set to have golden wings. But they are, I made them part of the crucible set. Cool new elytra, right? Look at that. Did you know that you can fly like this and get a pretty cool angle of yourself? You can make some cool screenshots. I'm recording, I don't need to make screenshots, but okay. A few new sword renames for all the tiers, starting with wood. I mean, let's get 2 of them just for visual showcase purposes, which doesn't do anything. Obviously, it's the claws, reference to Wolverine. They're huge. Should I make them smaller? Let me know. I did like them being big because, you know, you kind of want fucking like comic book, like almost like comically big claws. But let me know what you think. Starting at wood, you can have all the claws. Offhanding them does nothing, but it looks pretty fucking cinematic. I think this is a cool look. Like, maybe if you want to do like a short or like record a video, like this is cool. Even though practically, obviously, it does nothing. But yeah, claws for all the tier swords. What do you want from me? Oh, this, hopefully. Look, this is the full Wolverine look. Look at this. How you like me now? It's pretty convincing, right? Maybe not. It was the only. I saw this yellow set and I thought maybe it's worth trying. Does that look cool? I think it's kind of cool. Maybe it strikes a little nerve, something like a neuron activated, a little bit. Wolverine. Anyways, new claws. You can get them as swords. Rename a sword to claws and they'll look like this. And then obviously this is the look you'll want to have, right? Netherite clawing it up, and then you won't have one in the offhand, but it looks really cool. It looks pretty fucking fly. Another one I've done, we're doing references up the wazoo this update, because, you know, we're nearing the end of Minecraft lore, right, which is pretty exciting, so I get to do more exciting stuff. The hidden blade, again, starting at wood. It's a bit of a cheeky one. You really gotta watch out for this one. Know that it's in the pack, because, you know, it gives you a little bit of a PvP advantage, right, by definition, you know. It's like Call of Duty adding a ghillie suit. Cosmetic, right? Like, technically it's just a cosmetic, but actually it might surprise you at what it could do in combat for you. But, you know, be on your guard and be familiar with all the barely default renamables, and you'll have, you know, you'll fare fine. The hidden blade, yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's a good version of a hidden blade on the underside of the arm. Works the best. I tried it other ways. I showed it on Twitter, but then this ended up being the best way to do it, in my opinion. And yeah, they come in all the tiers, and you can just fucking fuck around. And I mean, I've been having fun with this one too. Just like, I like the idea in my head. Like, I don't know if this looks convincing in first person mode. I could also tweak the view models. Like, can you just give me feedback, right? Like, everything is always up to change. But I like the mental idea of running around and just like, you know, jumping onto a fucking zombie and just like assassin, like, you know how they do it? Like with the flat palm like this in the back. Like, I like that mental idea. Anyways, the hidden blade. Okay, enjoy. Next one's gonna go over everyone's head, but it's one close to my heart. And Minecraft canon, because there's a Ratchet skin in one of the OG skin packs. So yeah, it's from Ratchet and Clank, my #1 childhood game. This is the Omni wrench. It comes in all the tiers with a bit of creative liberties taken to make them a bit more unique. Look, there's a bolt here. I think I did really well with the pixel art of all of these, right? Give me a thumbs up, guys. What do you think? This is a cool update, right? Okay, so this one looks like the more recent Omni wrenches, which is not my favorite design. Like, I haven't even played. I played Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation 2. I basically only played 3 games, like, religiously, kept just replaying them, like, fucking so much fun. And then the Netherite wrench is pretty simple, but that's the way I wanted it. And it's a sword rename. Because if you've played Ratchet and Clank, you'll know that the wrench, the Omni wrench, really swings like a sword. It does not swing like a heavy hammer or anything. It really swings like, you know, it's just a blade on a stick. Or maybe 2 blades on a stick. I don't know. I just wanted it to be a sword, which is pretty rare. Because most of the time I divide them pretty rigidly, you know, the renames between axes and swords. So this is actually, maybe if you don't like Ratchet and Clank, maybe there's some value in it, that it looks like an axe a little bit for you, the wrench rename. I don't know. It's kind of for me. It's kind of for me. That's okay. If you enchant a Netherite wrench with fire aspect, it looks like this, which is the Omni wrench 3,000 maybe. I don't really know the lore, the names of it. I was still learning English when I was playing these games. They weren't dubbed in Dutch, by the way. Dutch is not a big language. We got games in English, which was good for me, you know, like I'm happy for it. It's basically the range that's part of the Infernox set in that game. There's crates that you destroy, you know, you get like currency in that game, bolts, and then there's also a crate you destroy and gives you fire powers, and then you get this wrench. It looks pretty fucking fire as well. And then, you know, it's a little Easter egg. It's for the fucking fans. Nobody's gonna care, but I think this is really sweet. Okay, you get it? So we move on to the maces, since that's what the update is about. Start right here. The mechanical bone cudgel. Okay, these are netherite axes right now, to be honest, because Optifine isn't out and steady. At least with CIT functionality on 1.21. So soon this will be available as mace renames. Right now in the pack they're netherite axes, okay? For showcase purposes mainly. Anyways, the mechanical bone cudgel, a bit of a play on words. In Minecraft Dungeons there's the mechanical short bow, and then there's also the normal short bow. So mechanical is kind of like almost a set on its own. And then, I don't know, the mechanical version of the bone cudgel. Is that fun? Is that great? Is that good lore? Do people enjoy that? I don't really know. The bone cudgel is a mace in my pack. Well, it's gonna be in 1.21. And then now there's the mechanical bone cudgel, which is a reference to Breath of the Wild, right? Legend of Zelda. You will recognize it instantly. I really think I did a great job, specifically with the strings. Look at how I did those strings. It's pretty simple, but then also it's not simple. See what I did? Oh, dude, I spent so long thinking about how the fuck do I convey strings, because I didn't, you know, the hammers. Most of these, this hammer isn't as big, I don't think, in Breath of the Wild, but you know, big hammer lore is fucking epic. So moving on, part of the Boomtown set, you know, for obvious reasons, it's the Boomtown stick. I thought the name was funny because it's literally sticks of dynamite and also just paste it on the stick. Like that's literally just a stick. You know, I thought it was, I don't know, I think it's funny. This is for you know, a major name. I think it's going to be really powerful. You can bonk people on the head with this, and then, you know, there's a big wind explosion. And, you know, I think it's going to be really, really a popular major name, even if you're not rocking this set. But I did, you know, like I said, and like I already explained it when I was standing over here, like memory is always like location dependent, right? Even in Minecraft. I want everything to be part of sets, right? I want to have complete sets. So if you want to be the TNT guy, go for the Boomtown set. And it has a cool new maze now. It's silly, little animations. It's funny, it's fun, it's nice, I like it. What do you think? It's sweet. I got for you the Ben Hammer and the Smash Hammer, both hammers in Smash Bros. The two most iconic hammers in Smash Bros. I would argue this one's more iconic, but okay. That's why I call it the Smash Hammer anyways. I don't know, they're just called hammers. And this one's called the Golden Hammer, but I thought that was too generic. I didn't have a Ben Hammer. No games that I don't know. I googled ban hammers, like if there's like a really standout ban hammer design in any games. I didn't really think so. Maybe it's controversial if your favorite game has a ban hammer, since it's probably a popular thing for games to do, right? But anyways, I just turned I gave the mantle of ban hammer to the golden hammer, because I feel like in game the golden hammer in Smash Bros. It functions pretty meta, right? Like fucking booting you out of the fucking game instantly. And I don't know, banning is obviously meta. I don't know whether you like it or not. Enjoy the Mace rename, okay? The ban hammer or the Smash Hammer. I think they're both good ports of Smash Bros weapons. And Smash Bros is canon in my pack, right? Steve is in Smash, so Smash is in Minecraft. Well, I'm trying to get it there. Anyways, this is a big effort to trying to get all of Smash in Minecraft, okay? And also another game, apparently, because I added the Pwn Hammer, which is a straight port from Terraria, right? Like, that's a pretty big deal. It's an iconic hammer in Terraria. It's a pretty simple rename. It's a pretty hammer. Like, you might just want to rock this hammer as a mace, you know, bonk down on people like this. Boing. It looks really good. I love, like, the fucking 3D and 2D mix. That's just like my swag, and that's also why I started doing Terraria weapons. Terraria is a really fucking epic game. It's canon in Minecraft in that it's referenced in the splash text, and there's also a Minecraft creeper costume in Terraria, which is like officially promoted by Mojang as well. So it's really fun. They're like fucking, you know, like connected games almost, right? Like they're spiritually intertwined. And I had a really hard time trying to make Terraria references in my pack because the pixel sprites in Terraria are already so perfect. They're so pretty. Like the Terra Blade, for example, that's like a perfect weapon to add to my pack. You see me using a lot of 3D here because we're showing off hammers, you know, and I feel like they're inherently supposed to be 3D. But I do a lot of swords and they're just flat sprites, right? Like I could really easily port the Terraria weapons, and I don't know how to improve them because they're so fucking pretty. They're like pixel perfect sprites, right? It's hard to improve on. And hammers is a good way to do it, right? Because hammers is like, you know, I get to make it 3D. This takes a lot of creative power, I guess, right, to make. There's a lot of decision making involved with making hammers, Minecraft style or 3D. So hammers was a good way to, you know, put Terraria in my pack, and I did it big time this update. These are the first two signs of it: the bone hammer, a new mace name, and also the meat grinder. In Terraria, it's called a flesh grinder because there's already a meat grinder crafting station. So I thought it would be nice to rename meat grinder, since that was the intended name for this weapon, right? When the artist who designed this pixel sprite for Terraria, or whoever came up with the name for the weapon, the energy of this weapon is meat grinder, not flesh grinder. It was only named that, you know, to avoid confusion and, you know, I don't know, make the wiki pages cleaner, I guess. Now, the flesh grinder is a pretty fucking weird weapon in Terraria. You can interpret it pretty loosely. The inspo for my version of the meat grinder is a bowel system. I don't know if you can tell. Let me know if I did a good job of it. But I think, you know, I think I have a pretty good understanding of, you know, what a bowel system. You know, I was looking at Google images of it for a while, and I don't know if the flesh grinder in Terraria is actually a bowel system on a stick, because the pixel art is, you know, it's loose to interpret, right? And it might just be two skulls. You know, that's a different way you could look at it, or just like a random mash of pixels. But this is my version of it, and it looks pretty bloody, which I think is dope. It goes perfectly with the Nether Walker armor. You know, so just imagine that the red spots on the meat grinder, it's crimson, you know, don't worry about it. If Mojang does it, then that's green light for me, yo. Like, I would have never added fucking bloody shit if Mojang didn't start doing it, right, basically. Not to this scale anyways. Moving on, we got the Lava Warrior Hammeraxe, which is a port from Terraria's Molten Hammeraxe, which is a iconic weapon in the progression of Terraria. And I hope I did a good job porting it. It has some nice emissive maps, right? And it like I said, I made it part of the Lava Warrior set. It's the Lava Warrior Hammeraxe. And all the Hammeraxes that I'm about to show you, because spoilers, I have a few more Hammeraxes, can all be used as both maces and netherite axes. I mean, obviously all of them are netherite axes right now, right, like I explained. But once 1.21 rolls out, you can use the same name, Lava Warrior Hammeraxe in this case, on both a mace or a netherite axe, and then the model will flip, right, appropriately, which is, I think, a fun dynamic. You know, adding Hammeraxes to my pack, like fully integrated. You know, they actually function as Hammeraxes a little bit, in that it's one rename that can be used as a netherite axe or a mace for all of them coming up. So I think that's cool. So the Lava Warrior Hammeraxe, here it is. Go into battle with a fury. Something like that. Next rename, pretty straightforward, the Breaker. I don't know if this is a super iconic weapon, but it's a Terraria hammer, and you know, I had to interpret it a little bit and make a 3D version of it. I think I did well. So you know, it's probably no one's favorite Terraria weapon, but if it is, here's the Breaker. Okay, it's part of the pack now. You can rename a mace the Breaker, and it works. Boop. Next up, two Hammeraxes, recolors of each other, because you know, it's convenient for me. Part of sets. This is the Vortex set, which I've had in the pack before. That was actually the only Terraria reference I had, which is a recolor of the Space set, which is Minecraft China Edition. So we're mixing all the lore together again. We always do it, trying to weave this whole fucking thing together. So the Vortex set now has a cool mace to it, and also a netherite axe, I guess, if that's what you want. But for the most part, I feel like these work the best as maces. But we'll do whatever you want, you know. But the Vortex set is pretty complete now, right? It's nice to complete all these sets. And then obviously I also did one for the Space set. Okay, amulet and all, here it is in its full glory, with the nice new mace. Or maybe you want to rock an arm cannon with it, you know, because arm cannons are pretty fucking flashy. Look at this. I should not be making laser noises at my age, but okay. This is immersive as shit, right? This cool little fucking unique little guy merging all this fucking lore. The toy hammer, another mace I did, which is designed after Isabel's hammer from Animal Crossing, as seen in Smash Bros Ultimate. But you know, I feel like I named it toy hammer because a toy hammer is pretty fun, right? A generic little plastic, like boop. You can always hear it like make the squishy hammer sound when you hit people. So you know, the toy hammer, maybe it's for you. Doesn't have to be Isabel's hammer from Animal Crossing, but that's why we got it anyways. The magic brush. This is super fucking crazy. Only if Super Mario Sunshine is your favorite game, you're gonna use this. It's super fucking weirdly 3D, which is a new thing I've been doing, mostly just because I'm bored. You know, I want to try different things, you know, do 100 weapons, and I want to do different techniques for all of them. That's most of the time that's not possible, but I try to shoehorn it in anyways, and I did it for a brush. I thought a brush, maybe it makes sense for a brush had to be like 3D, or maybe it specifically does not make sense. Let me know. If Super Mario Sunshine is your favorite game and you would otherwise really love to use this mace, but the 3Dness is ruining it, let me know. But I kind of liked, you know, like, I don't know, doing different things, right? Like everywhere, different things everywhere. And I wanted to include the magic brush because Super Mario Sunshine is really fucking dope. So here you go. It's a mace. It's a magic mace. I don't know how a brush really makes sense, but I don't know where else to put a brush. So here you go. It's there. The Slaughter mace. pretty funny. Also, it's in Smash Bros. As an assist trophy, which means it's a reference to something else, some stupid, obscure Nintendo game probably. But a fly swatter as a mace is pretty high comedy, right? So here it is, the fly swatter. If you want to mace people to death with a fly swatter, that's great. Go ahead, rename a mace to swatter and have fun with it. I added maces for the admin sets. There's 3 admins from story mode. You probably know that if you're watching this video. And I'm expanding those sets as well. So now there's maces for them. So this would be the full look, right? If you're trying to rock a Romeo set. This is Romeo's hammer. I think this is a really cool look, actually. You know, with the color changing and the emissive features, this is super cool. And swing the hammer of justice almost, right? Like this is, I don't know, this is upgraded Romeo almost. A little bit of a Terminator as well. And the hammer design is kind of supposed to resemble a hammer in Doom. Does it? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Always, give me all the feedback. Write fucking like 60 comments per video. That would be great for the algorithm, actually. Here, you want to see a Romeo set, but instead of a shield, you have a crossbow. That's it. Look at that. All the admins have an orb of dominance in my pack. I don't know if that makes sense, but also admins are like that's like the gods of the Minecraft universe, right? So I thought giving, like, I don't know, it's fun. More orbs of dominance in my pack. It's crazy, but okay. Hey, you want to see the other admins' hammers? This is Xera's hammer. Xera's set being really fucking wacky, crazy colors. I cannot imagine this being anyone's favorite set, but if it is, you now have a wacky, crazy new fucking lollipop of a hammer. This is a candy set. The graffiti set? I don't really know. Xera's color palette is really wild, but here it is, more complete. And here's Fred's hammer. And Fred's full set, right? If you would rock the hammer as a main melee weapon, which you could, maces are really valuable melee weapons. Like, I imagine people are going to be using maces as their main weapon, right? No? You don't think so? Anyways, I mean, I'm going hard on maces. I hope they're any good. I hope they're still good after the nerfs. I hope they're still good because there's a lot of them now. And you want to know a fun fact about Fred? Did you know Fred is named Fred because it rhymes with dead, and he's dead? That's crazy trivia. Also can't imagine Fred being anyone's favorite admin. He's dead. What's his power? Like sleep? Fucking the color of lapis lazuli? Like, is that like super relatable to you? That his favorite Minecraft wood is birch? I bet no one watching this knew that. Dude, I'm such a fucking nerd. Like, my head could have been filled with cool lore, like cool video game lore, and instead I know the favorite color of one of the Minecraft admins from Minecraft Store Mode. That's not the best, but okay. It brought you these sets, right? My passion for Minecraft. You don't need to have equal passion for Minecraft. You just need to use the pack, okay? So, and apparently you're watching me ramble about these weapons, which is fucking wild. Thanks, by the way. Okay. Lipstick, another port of a weapon from Smash Bros. I thought, why not a mace? You can always hear the sound when you bonk it, like bonk, bonk, bonk. It's a pretty offensive sound, I think. It's a real bonk. I feel like I've always wanted to do lipstick because held items, the items that drop are like really obvious weapons to do, I feel like. But I never had fancy flowers, and now I do, which brings me to my cornflower changes that are also in this update. So it's not just sit, it's also a few cornflower changes. Added some random cornflowers because cornflowers felt really static. In the previous update when I did the big flower update, which is not the best because cornflowers are supposed to be really wild flowers, right? They're almost like weeds, like they just grow anywhere. But to make them appear a bit more random, obviously I added tilted variants like this. Also variants with rotated leaves. So you have the one that makes a square like this, and then you have this one. So that adds a ton of randomness. And then I added color variants as well. And the color variants are actually based on the lightest and darkest shades in the blue dye item. Because obviously, they drop blue dye, right? Cornflowers, they turn into blue dye. Anyways, next up, another port of a Terraria weapon, the Hammeraxe, which is a crazy name. That's like a triple entendre, or maybe a 2.5 entendre, because it's a hammeroid, and then it's a hammeraxe, but then a hammeraxe also is a hammeraxe from Terraria, right? So if you take a hammeroid and you take the roid part and make it an axe, because I feel like that's like an entendre on itself, and then you have another entendre on top of it because it sounds like it. Oh, that's not a triple, that's a double entendre, right? Maybe? Or not? Okay, well, anyways, the Hammeraxe is pretty fucking fun. Good luck riding it. It's pretty chunky. I wore the Nether Walker armor to show it off because I think it fits for obvious reasons. And also in lore, that is really fun because it's also crimson, right? In Terraria. So that's just like a bonus. And then it's just like a bone, I don't know, like a bone mace or a netherite axe with a big blood cloth on it, and I don't know, maybe this is really nice to you, and off that actually spawned a few other renames, because like I said with the sword, I spent time making a model, and then making a recolor of it, just changing the texture of it is not that much effort, so it's a lot of bang for my buck. The way I did this reminds you of a slime block or a honey block, so I did those variants, and then I did the unthinkable, and I made the bee nest Hammeraxe, which is part of the bee nest set, which is the worst set in the game, but great for me to you know, not just add a random weapon, add one that's part of a collection, right? Because that's the ultimate goal for me, is to fill out all the sets that I have, right? All the armor sets should have fucking elytra, like maces and bows and swords, like everything. And now the bean is set as a mace. Which is wild, because I said in my big armor video that was the worst set, and now here we are, a full-on mace dedicated to the bean set, the most bean of all the sets. And then the slime version of the Hammeraxe was also obvious, the Slapperaxe, you know, I don't know, I'm competing with fucking Relogic and their Hammeraxe. That's fucking brilliant. How do I do better than that? I can't. So I thought Slapperaxe, I hardly know her, I don't really know, kind of fun, like slimes are kind of slappy, right? Like maybe, I don't know, I put a face, the slime ones have a face in them, look, it's a little slime face. You see that? Like a little mouth and the eyes. And then these ones, we'll get to those later, but they all have a little face in them. And I don't know, maybe slime is your favorite thing. The axe is still bone on this one. I don't know why. Slime and bone is like a really nice vibe to me. I don't really know why. It's just like an emotional thing, I guess. And I'm just trying to let my emotions guide me a little bit, right? That's when art is at its best. And I feel like Barely Default has been getting better and better while loving Minecraft and lots of other games, you know, and still being able to do some pretty wild shit. And then we also have the hit of the Cauldron. The name is, you know, like a hit of the Cauldron. Well, it's a hit, right? A hit of the Cauldron. And then I thought, like, the little, obviously there's a reference to Minecraft Dungeons. There's a corrupted Cauldron boss in Minecraft Dungeons, and it spews out little slimes, right? So that's why, you know, it fits with the slime fucking theme. And it even has a little slime head. And I thought, if the big Cauldron boss is spewing out slimes, then those slimes are kind of like potions, right? This is fucking like me thinking of these names. It's so fucking dumb. Okay, so bear with me though. The slimes are potions. So, you know, like a slime could be considered like a hit. Right, like how you take a hit of something, or a drink. You can also hit a drink, right? Can't you? You can hit anything. Hit that, okay? And this is a hit of the Cauldron. I don't know, is that good? Fucking Relogic with their fucking Hammeraxe. I can't fucking compete with that, right? Okay, anyways. Another case of the worst set in the game. I also mentioned that in that video. Like, I was very audible about the sets I added that I did not find inspiring. And I guess nowadays, both those sets I did not find inspiring. And now both, they have a Hammeraxe, right? Which means they have a mace and a netherite axe. Wild. I don't know if anyone's gonna walk around like this. Is the your favorite boss is the fucking corrupted Cauldron from Minecraft Dungeons? If that's your favorite boss, I mean, here you go. There you go. I'm catering to you too. Okay, all right. I got everybody covered. Green slime fans. We got blue slime fans. We got purple slime fans. So yeah, blue slime. We got the tropical Slapperaxe, which is just, you know, I don't know. I can't beat him. Can't beat the Hammeraxe, so I'll just use the word Slapperaxe twice, okay? We got the regular Slapperaxe and also the tropical Slapperaxe, which is blue slime and bone, because, like I said, bone and slime is great. And then, I don't know, you have a blue slime skin? It's pretty common, right? No? It's also, there's blue slimes in Terraria. I don't know. And obviously the tropical slime is simply blue. That is simply how she rolls. There she is. Well, there you go. Look. Great. All right. Look, you got a dedicated Slapperaxe. Fucking, how does that feel? This is an interview now. This is a podcast with the tropical slime. How does it feel to have it? Okay, right, moving on. This is the worst segment. Not a Terraria reference. Wow, this is a Sonic reference. This is supposed to be the Pika Pika hammer, which is Amy's hammer. Amy Rose. This is like a really weird furry character in Sonic. No, I mean, there's a lot of Sonic fans. I'm not a. I mean, Sonic is pretty fucking cool, but I don't. You know, I would not use Amy Rose's hammer. But I did want to add it. And fun fact: Amy Rose's hammer is not even in Smash Bros. Nowhere. Everywhere where Amy Rose appears as a sticker or a trophy in the Smash Bros series, she doesn't have her hammer. So I had to fucking, you know, pick a hammer. So if this is not accurate to how you want Amy's hammer to be portrayed, write me a fucking comment. Make it super detailed, and yeah, maybe I'll change the hammer. I called it the Pika Boop. It's kind of, I don't know. Other people have probably thought of that. I don't know. Oh, there you go. That's how I feel. I call it the Pika Boop. It's kind of fun. Boop. It's kind of cute. It's pink hammer. It's kind of a girly mace, maybe. A girly mace rename. Next up, the Hammeraxe. It's a Terraria weapon. Directly fucking modeled, pixel arted, you know, using their palette. And it's pretty sweet. I mean, the Hammeraxe, again, probably not your favorite fucking Terraria weapon. But, you know, it's one that I can 3Dify. Put in a lot of effort and make 3D, and I think I nailed it. I think it looks really nice. It's almost like the Terraria style. It is the Terraria style, right? Isn't it? Will you use this? Which one will you use? Not the swatter, just lot. No, the swatter will probably be used. That's a popular one. The swatter will probably be outused by the Hammeraxe, which is sad news for the Hammouche, but you know, that's how it goes. Next up is a pretty big one. Fucking hell, I mean, I don't know. Has anyone heard of the monkey motivator? Do you know what that is? That is a unused weapon in Minecraft Dungeons. You can check out the wiki page. I'll link it below just for funsies. And there are some sounds for it. It's pretty wild. Look, here's the wiki page on it. It's a discontinued. Look, added sound files to the game. Jungle Awakens officially revealed with a release date. Blah blah blah. Monkey motivator is cut. See, it's not used. And then there's some references. I'll look into it. I can't tell you exactly what it looked like. And then there's a tweet talking about it. There's not many references of it. There's only some references in the code. It's fucking sea of pixels. Getting right to business. Fucking getting us the lore. And now we know it looked like a banana on a stick. And that's pretty vague. Maybe it was 2 bananas on a stick, right? Nobody knows. And I was scrolling through the spirits of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and there is a super obscure fucking game. It's Mario, X, Rayman, Rabbids, and then it's Donkey Kong DLC. It's like this super fucking weird specific thing. I mean, it didn't look not fun. It looked pretty fun, but I haven't played or anything. And there's like a super big gorilla rabbit in it, and it has a weapon that is 2 bad bananas on a stick. I googled bad bananas, tried to really get into the lore of that game, designing this. That was actually before I decided to just call it the monkey motivator and just ditch the bad bananas. It's a big Donkey Kong-like rabbit, and he has a big stick with 2 bananas on it. And now this is the monkey motivator in my pack. Because why wouldn't it be 2 bananas? Do you want to listen to the sounds? I feel it's pretty fun. Have to part of the video. If you equip it. Oh, okay, jungle drums. Okay, alright. Whoa. The swing is just a guy going. I can do that. Okay, well, I mean, it was cut, so who cares? That's kind of fun. I like this. This is not real. Somebody's trolling. Somebody put their own sounds on the fucking wiki and we're being trolled big time. Okay, well, anyways, whatever. Okay, so the monkey motivator. My version of it, pretty big news, okay? The monkey motivator, an unused weapon. I feel like that makes it infamous in the Minecraft lore. And now MJ has made a version of it, and it's a mace, because I don't really like doing unique pickaxes, you know? I mean, I'll do them, but I want them to be exclusively part of sets. Was I gonna make a monkey-themed set, a banana-themed set? No, I didn't see myself doing it. So why not a mace? It's pretty big. It's bulk on its own by being dual-bladed, and I think it's fun. So have fun with the rail cannon monkey motivator, and every time I'm swinging this, I'm gonna go blum, blum, zoom, zoom, zoom. I can't believe that's the fucking sound. That can't be like fucking final. That's crazy. Okay, moving on. It's not the fucking maces. I told you it was the mace update. We did some other shit, but it's the fucking mace update, alright. Okay, this is the Walloper. It's a Ratchet and Clank reference, which also nobody will care about. It's like, I found this to be the only portable Ratchet and Clank weapon that didn't require crazy physics. Like, they have a lot of whips and stuff, like stuff that requires physics that I don't really want to do. It's a bit of weird colors, like you kind of have to be a Ratchet and Clank fan to use this glove, probably, but it's in the pack anyways. So the Walloper, a new mace rename. Journey Mace, another new mace. It's basically a port of Skyrim's Elven Mace. That was massively inspo. I really like the design of it though, like the 3D and 2D, like the way I mix it is like really like my signature style. And this is my version of the Skyrim Elven Mace, and I made it part of the Journey set. The Journey set being completely derived of this sword. There was this sword in Minecraft China Edition files, and I found that sword and I was like, holy shit, a fucking Minecraft China Edition fucking sword, and I wanted to add it. And then I designed this entire armor set around it, inspired by Skyrim Elven armor, because it's frankly very pretty. And then I did the shield, also inspired by Elven armor, and now we have the Elven Mace, basically, in the form of the Journey Mace. So this can be a look. It's a pretty cool look, right? I think this is really swag. Boom, boom, fucking boink. We can actually boink some slimes. There's still some fucking little motherfuckers floating around. There you go. Oop, another one. He survived initially. He hid in a fern. That's a pretty good strategy, you know, as far as being a Minecraft mob goes. Next up is the Royal Mace. A pretty cool looking mace you can use with any set, but technically, you know, me trying to fill out all the sets, I made it part of the Royal set, which is a pretty fucking wild set. Like, the shield is Minecraft Dungeons lore, and they're actually called Royal Guard, so that worked out for me. I made the armor initially. This was my first CIT set I made. Not for Netherite, obviously. It was only available for Diamond back then. Just like a trimmed set, like a super generic idea. It was my first CIT set, and now it's turned into this wild lore party, because you have default Minecraft armor with my own trim to it then a Minecraft dungeon shield, and now you have this mace, which is inspired by Shovel Knight. Like King Knight has this fucking staff over here. You can look at it, right? Like I kind of fucking nailed what it's supposed to be, right? He's gonna have, even has a little cross. Like this is supposed to be like the, I guess it is a mace. What else does a king even use that thing for? To smash people, right? Like, intimidate them? Just look cool holding something? What the fuck do kings use that thing for? The royal sword, just for funsies, is actually Ike's sword from Fire Emblem. So yeah, this set is fucking nuts. And now a new mace to match the set, or to just use with whatever. If you were feeling kingly, that's a new mace for you, my friend. And that's it, we're done. You've been watching for a while. You bet you've been wondering when it's over. No, I'm kidding. I have a few more to go. But this shouldn't take too much time though. These are mostly recolors of each other. I've been wanting to include the adventure crystals from Minecraft Earth, which is a super random fucking thing. Nobody cares about adventure crystals. I don't think anyone's nostalgic for those. But I did want to include them, and including the blocks of the Minecraft universe that I can't place anywhere because you can't name blocks, right? You can't have named variant for blocks. I think maces are a good place for them. I mean, the adventure crystal fits on a mace pretty well. Like, you know, you can bop people over the head with it. And the first thing that came to mind is Amethyst Adventure, you know, because it has the name Adventure in it, right? Like the adventure crystal. And then I just kind of went from there, and now we have the Amber Action. Amber being from an April Fool's snapshot, obviously. The Echo Endeavor, the Emerald Escapade, Prismarine Parting, Quartz Quest, the Ruby Rendezvous, the Diamond Dare, and the Void Voyage. And I imagine this one will be a fan favorite. And I tried to link these up to sets too. And you know, it's hardly noticeable, but the handle is actually purple. The same purple as used in the Ender Dragon set. So you can mix that, since it's both end themed, right? You can look pretty fucking gangster already, like bashing people in the head with a massive fucking end crystal. Even though the Dragon set already got its own mace. But you know, you can mix and match. Like I say, you know, if you don't like this style, if you wanna go bigger, go fucking Void Voyage, which could also go well with the Ender set, right? The Netherite Ender set in this case, which I think is also, you know, kind of like an obvious matchup, right? The Emerald Escapade is gonna match well with Opulent Armor, or obviously Emerald Armor, right? It's a pretty generic emerald look. It's gonna all look great. And then as a mirror to Emerald Armor, the Ruby Rendezvous is gonna work great with Ruby Armor. Prismarine Parting, a great match with Prismarine Armor, or just the Trident in general. We also got the Quartz Quest, which is just supposed to match all the netherite armors, I guess, a little bit. I mean, quartz isn't really present in the netherite palettes, but maybe you use quartz trims, you know, and this will look quite nice. And it does actually have, you know, the handle as the handle of netherite tools. So if that's any consistency, right, to it being part of netherite sets, you know, thematically at least it fits. And then we got the diamond there, which matches diamond armor. You know, again, it has the blue on the handle, which also matches all my diamond armor, which, you know, I mean, it's cool having a diamond mace if that's what you want to swing. It's a big diamond, but you probably want to wear netherite eventually. So I don't know how well this will match, but have fun mixing and matching some new maces. And that is it for the maces. There's one more little surprise I have for you. It's a crossbow rename, the SDMG. Look, we're gonna remove the period. Look, it's just a regular old crossbow. So this is actually just a crossbow. It's pretty wild. It's a Dolphin, a Terraria reference. I don't know, I was on a Terraria streak and I thought of this and I thought, how fucking funny would it be to have a fucking dolphin that you just wield, and down here it is, and it opens its mouth, which is not canon to the fucking SDMG. I said it right. But actually, the dolphins in Minecraft, if we load up you and Howl's template loader, you'll see that the head and the body is actually separated by default. So I mean, I'm not trying to start a conspiracy that dolphins are actually mechanized, but in my pack, you know, the head moves appropriately, and then the fins move. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a fun rename, and thematically, I think this works the best with fire rockets. Look at that. It's a great look. You want to see it from the side. We'll throw it. Get a good look at it. Look, I think this works really, really well with the SDMG. The Space Dolphin machine gun. We got some rockets we can fire. Destroy some more. Oh, we don't, because these are fucking creative veteran rockets. Okay, well, that's okay. Well, then that's it. Okay, you were tricked before, and then I forced you through some more maces. But this could also be exciting, right? Some people might like this variant. Turn my fucking FOV back up to what I actually play at, which is 90. My FOV was insanely low, but I feel like for videos, like for showcasing stuff, everything looks better with low FOV, don't you think? And then people get to watch the stuff in game in actual 3D. Is that a mindfuck that I was playing at low FOV, or did you notice that the entire time? Okay, whatever. Thanks for watching the wild video. Like, subscribe. My pack is out for free, and it will be updated for fucking ever. And I put a lot of effort into it, so maybe show your friends, tell everyone about the pack that you want to use on the SMP, so you can fucking use the SDMG. And this shows up. Well, there's a rhyme. And this shows up everywhere, right? Like if your buddies use the pack and you have this crossbow, they'll just see this on your server, no problem, right? So that's it. That was Mickey Joe, and maybe stick around till after the outro. Bye.